All the rest have gone except the note taker, the gentleman, and the flower girl, who sits arranging her basket and still pitying herself in murmurs.
Hard enough for her to live without being treated achieved.
How do you do it, if I may ask?
Simply phonetics, the science of speech. That's my profession, also my hobby. Happy is the man who can make a living by his hobby. You can spot an Irishman and a Yorkshireman by his brogue. I can place any man within 6 miles. I can place him within 2 miles in London, sometimes within 2 streets.
Oh, to be ashamed of himself, unmanly coward.
But is there a living in that?
Oh yes, quite a fat one. In this age of upstarts, men begin in Kentish Town with 80 pounds a year, and Anne in Park Lane with 100,000. They want to drop Kentish Town, but they give themselves away every time they open their mouth. Now, I can teach them.
Let him mind his own business and leave a cool
Woman,
girl.
seize this detestable behavior instantly, or else seek the shelter of some other place of worship.
I have a right to be here if I lack the same as you.
A woman who utters such depressing and disgusting sound has no right to be anywhere, no right to live. Remember that you are a human being with a soul and a fine gift of articulate speech. That your native language is the language of Shakespeare and Milton and the Bible. And don't sit there crooning like a bilious pigeon. What a sound! Marvelous. Ooh.
Gun?
You see this creature with her curbstone English? The English that will keep her in the gutter to the end of her days. Well, sir, in 3 months, I could pass that girl off as a duchess and an ambassador at an ambassador's garden party. I could even get her a place as a lady's maid, or a shop assistant, which requires better English. That's the sort of thing I do for commercial millionaires. And on the profit of it, I do genuine scientific work of phonetics, and a little as a poet on Miltonic lines.
I'm myself a student of Indian dialects and...
Are you? Do you know Colonel Pickering, the author of spoken Sanskrit?
I am Colonel Pickering. Who are you?
Henry Higgins, the author of Higgins' Universal Alphabet.
I came from India to meet you.
I was going to India to meet you.
Where do you live?
27 Wimpole Street. Come and see me tomorrow.
I'm at the Carlton. Come with me now and let's have a joe over some supper.
Right you are.
Buy a flower, kind gentleman. I'm short for my lodging.
I really haven't any change. I'm sorry.
Liar, you said you could change half a crown.
You ought to be stuffed with nails, you ought. Take the whole blooming basket for 6 pences.
The church clock strikes the second quarter.
A reminder.
Eliza goes out on the balcony to avoid being alone with Higgins. He rises and joins her there. She immediately comes back into the room and makes for the door. But he goes along the balcony quickly and gets his back to the door before she reaches it.
Well, Eliza, you have had a bit of your own bag, as you call it. Have you had enough? And are you going to be reasonable? Or do you want any more?
You want me back only to pick up your slippers and put up with your tempers, and fetch and carry for you.
I haven't said I want you back at all.
Oh, indeed. Then what are we talking about?
About you, not about me. If you come back, I shall treat you just as I have always treated you. I can change my nature, and I don't intend to change my manners. My manners are exactly the same as Colonel Pickering's.
That's not true. He treats a flower girl as if she was a duchess.
And I treat a Dutch as if she was a flower girl.
I see. The same to
Just so.
everybody.
Just so.
Like father.
The question is not whether I treat you rightly, but whether you ever heard me treat anyone else better.
I don't care how you treat me. I don't mind your swearing at me. I don't mind a black eye. I've had one before this. But I won't be passed over, please. What am I to come back for?
For the fun of it. That's why I took you on.
And you might throw me out tomorrow if I don't do everything you want me to do?
Yes, and you might well walk out tomorrow if I don't do everything you want me to.
And live with my stepmother?
Yes, or sell flowers.
Oh, if I only could go back to my flower basket, I should be independent of both of you and father and all the world. Why did you take my independence from me? Why did I give it up? I'm a slave now for all my fine clothes.
Not a bit. I'll adopt you as my daughter and settle money on you if you like. Or would you rather marry Pickering?
I wouldn't marry you if you asked me. And you're nearer my age than what he is.
I don't suppose Pickering would do. He's as confirmed an old bachelor as I am.
That's not what I want, and don't you think it. I've always had chaps enough wanting me that way. Freddie Hills writes to me twice and three times a day. Shits and shits.
There is impudence.
He has a right to if he likes, poor lad. And he does love me.
You have no right to encourage him.
Every girl has a right to be loved.
By fools like that?
Freddie's not a fool, and if he's weak and poor and wants me, maybe he'll make me happier than my betters that bully me and don't want me.
Can he make anything of you? That's the point.
Perhaps I could make something out of him, but I never thought of us making anything of one another, and you never think of anything else. I only want to be natural.
In short, you want me to be as infatuated about you as Freddie? Is that it?
No, I don't. That's not the sort of feelings I want from you, and don't you be too sure of yourself or of me. I could have been a bad girl if I'd liked. I've seen more of some things than you, for all your learning. Girls like me can drag gentlemen down to make love to them easy enough, and they wish each other dead the next minute.
Of course they do. Then what in thunder are we quarreling about?
I want a little kindness. I know I'm a common ignorant girl and you a book learned gentleman, but I'm not a dirt under your feet. What I done, what I did was not for the dresses and the taxes. I did it because we were pleased together and came to care for you, not to want you to make love to me and not forgetting the difference between us, but more friendly like.
Well, of course, that's just how I feel and how Pickering feels. Eliza, you're a fool.
That's not a proper answer to give me.
If you want more mental effort, go back to the gutter. Work until you're more brute than human, then indulge in a life of easy pleasures. If my coldness bothers you, find someone sentimental with money.
You're a tyrant, turning everything against me. I won't go back to the gutter. I have no real friends but you and the colonel. It's cruel to suggest I could live with a common man. I won't be trampled on. I'll marry Freddie once he can support me.
Ravish, you shall marry an ambassador. You shall marry the Governor General of India or the Lord Lieutenant of Ireland or somebody who wants a deputy queen. I'm not going to have my masterpiece thrown away on Freddie.
You think you think I like you to say that, but I haven't forgot what you said a minute ago, and I won't be coaxed round as if I was a baby or a puppy. If I can't have kindness, I'll have independence.
Dependence, this a middle class blasphemy. We are all dependent on one another, every soul of us on earth.
I'll let you see whether I'm dependent on you. If you can preach, I can teach. I'll go and be a teacher.
Oh, what will you teach?
What you taught me. I'll teach phonetics. I'll offer myself as an assistant to Professor Nepean.
Shima Mentos, my discoveries. You take one step in his direction and I'll wring your neck. Do you hear?
Ring away. I know you'd strike me someday. Now I know how to deal with you. I have a finer ear, can be civil and kind, more than you can.
You damned impudent slut. You, but it's better than sniveling, better than fetching slipper and finding spectacle, isn't it? By George, Eliza, I said I'll wake a woman of you, and I have. I like you like this.
Yes, you turn round and make up to me now that I'm not afraid of you and can do without you.
Of course I do, you little fool. 5 minutes ago you were like a millstone round my neck. Now you are a tower of strength, a consort battleship. You and I, Pickering, will be 3 old bachelors together instead of only 2 men and a sea leaguer.
Mrs. Higgins returned, dressed for the wedding. Eliza instantly became cool and elegant. The carriage is waiting, Eliza. Are you ready?
Quite. Is the professor coming?
Certainly not. He can't behave himself in church. He makes remarks out loud all the time on the clergyman's pronunciation.
Then I shall not see you again, Professor. Goodbye.
Goodbye, dear.
Goodbye, mother. Oh, by the way, Eliza, order a ham and a Stilton cheese, will you? And buy me a pair of painted gloves, number 8, and a tie to match that new suit of mine. At ill and Binmans. You can choose the color.
Buy them yourself.
I'm afraid you've spoiled that girl, Henry. But never mind, dear. I'll buy you the tie and gloves.
Oh, don't bother. Oh, don't bother. She'll buy all right enough. Goodbye.